Good morning, Guido, coming at you with a coffee talk. It is Sunday morning, not December, my goodness, January the 2nd, 2022, coming to you from the left side of the Atlantic.
From the correct side of the Atlantic, it's Pilgrim with something that he's got from the Guido merch store that is actually a trial run that you all need to go and buy for the 4th of July. So you've had 7 months warning. There it is, the 4th of July Guido mug.
Does,
I'll even sing the song that goes with it if you want.
does,
Cheers.
what song goes with it?
Do, 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 do,
Oh, okay.
do. When you drink out of it. Speak
so,
into the mic.
so
I'm
holiday ops is over. We're going
Richard,
to
yes.
holiday ops is over. We're just going straight to January or July 4th. That's it.
We go
Okay.
July the 4th, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently they can't hear me, Guido.
What?
They can't hear me, according to Speak into the mic, he says.
Is it not loud enough, or you cannot just hear him?
I think Banzai hasn't got his hearing aids in.
Let me turn him up a little bit. Muffled. All right, let me turn it up. Let me give it another shot.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Hello, you.
OBS just deleted the headset input. Better? Okay. OBS just goes crazy. It literally just deleted it off of both of my scenes, of my sources. I'm looking at it like, how come I don't see the little bar moving? Anyway, it is.
Pilgrim's not required.
We've stumbled out of the gate once again into the new year. Into the new year. We're gonna have a little retrospective. Actually, I forgot to talk to you about that, Pilgrim, and it just came to me actually as I was talking.
Okay.
We're gonna go over the channel analytics a little bit, and we'll talk about what has happened on the channel. So we're gonna treat it. Oh, Stickler, thanks, man. Right off the bat with a sub, 3 month streak, 24 months total. We're gonna treat it like a charity or a publicly traded corporation, and I'm just gonna tell you how much I made. Like it'll be,
Open and transparent.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
unheard of,
I think
sir.
it'll be interesting. People might be interested in
Yeah,
some of the
yeah,
numbers
yeah.
and stuff. It turns out, so just as a brief primer, this year on Twitch, I made $3.50 an hour streaming.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah,
an hour. Okay, I thought
an
that was
hour.
overall.
That would be bad. That would be bad.
That's not getting out of bed for money, is it?
Well, obviously, what I'm worth is $3.50 total.
Yeah, we know that.
But Happy New Year, Sutek. Bonzi's
Sell
here,
more mugs.
Cliffy, Poor Old Sod, Odd Dog, Randall Green, Stickler. Good morning, guys. Thanks for coming. Happy Sunday. Happy New Year. And we're still
Happy
into
everything.
holiday ops, man.
We are.
Still
It's,
cruising
it's
along.
gonna it's gonna go on.
We've got a little bit of news and stuff coming up. Let's talk about the channel. What do we got going on? I am logged in right now to NA. I haven't even played NA probably for about 6 or 7 days because I just got sucked into EU and was cranking along. I got up to Atmosphere 10 at EU Pilgrim.
Oh, that's good. That took some doing though, didn't it? Really, just a
It,
matter of plowing through it. Really.
yeah, you're right. It did take some doing, and I think I talked about it a little bit on that video, but I don't think it was any more than somebody who likes World of Tanks would do
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
as a free to play. Although I was running premium, that doesn't really help with extra boxes. So a free to play player would have got every bit as far in terms of boxes and atmosphere as I did, because essentially that's what I was doing. I didn't buy any boxes on EU. I'm not at 50% credits.
No,
Oh,
no, I'm the same as you. I'm about 37%, I think. Something
yeah.
like that.
So I thought it was pretty good. Now, to be fair, a lot of that was from all the stuff Wargaming's chucking at people to kind of
Yes.
stop the pitchforks and torches.
The revolution.
Well, it's interesting too, right? Because on the one hand, most of it was aimed at the people who bought the large boxes early, but it sort of became now this blanket thing of boosting everybody to try to get a little more goodwill out there. So
Yeah.
I'm not privy to the strategery that they're using, but it seems like they didn't like the negative waves, and they're kind of just chucking stuff at people now.
You know what? I think for them, for Wargaming, the Christmas event is a massive, massive event, both financially and for the kudos of the game.
Yeah.
So I think they had to do something to negate the bad stuff that was coming out from all that. I think they had to do it quickly, and they did. And they probably went, in some respects, overboard with it all. But I guess it was because Christmas is just as big for them as it is for us, I think. When it comes to the game. I think a lot hinges on the, if not financial, certainly on the credit of the game. Look at this. This is how you attract new players. Look what you can get at Christmas. Get all this free stuff and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think they probably felt that they had to go down some sort of road where they shut people up, for want of a better word.
Yeah. I think Sutek may have a point there that they may have messed up some of the arithmetic or maybe just the idea of what was being given out. I mean, I don't know. How much grinding did they do on arithmetic to figure it out? Who was in charge of it? How much thinking did they do? Did they really even do any numbers, or did they just, that looks good? I mean, I don't know.
Because, like I said to you before we started the stream, for me it's slightly embarrassing. I'm sitting on the NA account with so many shards. I've got nothing I can do with them because everything's done, and I'm just clicking the Arnie missions to simplify them. And I've got something like 138,000 shards just sat there, and I can't do anything with them.
Right, so that's a great segue. So now we're in this position of, but we're power users, especially on NA.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the same thing. I have so many shards I don't know what to do with, and that's because they were trying to take care of the paying players who bought all the big boxes, but everybody's kind of now in the frag pattern, getting all kinds of stuff. I'm not in that position on EU. Like, I don't have too much on EU, but I have it. But I'm way further along than I would have been.
Yeah, because there's an awful lot of freebies being thrown into the mix.
And I don't really count the NA one as far as being any kind of representative of the regular player. I mean, this is completely. I had 200 boxes given to me and all that kind of stuff. But on EU, it seems to me anyway at this point, and we kind of got here in a roundabout way, and maybe it was poor planning on their part, I don't know, but it seems to be that at this point it's turned out pretty nicely.
Yeah.
No real complaints.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think that's the end result, is that people should go away from this event thinking, yeah, that was cool, I enjoyed that, rather than that was crap, I'm not coming back to it. So I guess there's hidden reasons behind all that.
Yeah. And what about Bogey, though? And I think this is a great point. The newer, weaker players of the clan have found that shards easier. I think the system of no levels, I think the general build of it was better.
Yes.
The math may have been off, but the idea that you do shards and you build your own stuff, and every once in a while you get a decoration, but there's no levels of decorations and all these weird machinations going on. I would agree with that, because in the past, I do videos on, all right, here's how you break this down, and it's convoluted as heck, as Wargaming loves to do. When they build these things, for some reason, they just, and I think this is a gamer thing overall, that all the different levels and things can get really stupidly complicated for something that's should be fairly simple. You want it complicated enough to be interesting, but you don't want it to be painful.
No, exactly.
That's a fine
you don't
line.
want people to. Yeah, exactly. You've got to. The fine line is you don't want to turn people off. You want to make it achievable, but not easy achievable. If you see what I mean.
Yep, and that's a fine line. You and I can sit here and talk about that like as if we know what that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the. Not to get into politics, but just specifically for one political leaning, it's like saying, well, communism failed because it's not the right communism.
Yeah, it's the right one.
The inference is that person knows what that is, right?
Yeah,
like they're that
absolutely.
smart, right?
Absolutely.
But whatever part of the aisle you're on, I don't care. But I'm just like anything where somebody comes at it and says, well, that sucks, but it's not the right kind of that, and I'm the guy who knows how to do that, right?
So please explain. You're like,
Sometimes that guy is that guy. Sometimes, but more often than not, 999,999. You're not that guy.
No.
Anyway,
No.
But I think they've done a decent job reacting, which I'm proud of them for in terms of that.
Yeah, I think so. I think also, in fact, Bogey makes a good point. The Arnie missions were not overcomplicated either. So the whole of the thing as a whole was a lot more user friendly and a lot more intuitive towards the gamer. So I think they've actually put some effort into that, and I quite enjoyed it this
Yeah.
year. Not that I didn't enjoy it last year; it just felt a little bit more grindy last year.
Now I
But
like the sharing boxes too. Somebody said in chat right there. I wanted to bring this up. We'll do it right now. You guys are killing me. You're awesome. So I hadn't logged
yeah,
in for probably 5 days into NA, and I'm sitting on 133 small boxes. Now
what you do? What do you do with all those?
well, I haven't opened them yet. I thought I'd open them later just to see what we get out of it. Thank you very much. That's really cool. I will continue to accept them. I'll try to be as gracious as possible with that, but I don't really need them. If you guys have someone better that might need them, go ahead and chuck them at them to help them complete their stuff. But a lot of times people just only have so many friends and they just throw them out there. I got it, and I'm not trying to be negative on you for sending them to me. Thank you very much. It's so awesome, and it is going to help me with my silver because I've got that mind forward to potentially the black market, right? Although we haven't heard a single thing about that.
I think nothing's
Not
come
a
out.
not a
None
peep.
of the
Not a peep.
no, not even in all like the wiki sites and everything else and Harkonnen and all the other. There's nothing.
Because
Absolutely
I
nothing.
think, as I recall, last year there were already some kind of rumors that the spring would be a black market.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
Cliffy. First
that,
rule of black market: there is no black market.
no. There you go. Jimmy's in the house and Wayne's in the house. Welcome, guys.
Cliffy, as usual, he's living in the future, ahead of the game. Um, okay, so yeah, still playing EU, cranking along. I've done a lot. I talked about it on stream. I've got pretty far on EU actually. I've unlocked it and bought a couple eights over Christmas. I have cranked up some good credits, although I'm spending it as I go.
Yeah.
I've been able to buy equipment that I needed. I've upgraded modules on all the 8s and 7s that I was currently grinding. I started a new line. I took Chuck from last year, put him in the setter, and I'm moving him through to the mana core just like I did on NA because I have no imagination. Speaking of
Well,
being,
I tell you what. Now, to be fair to you, given that I started my EU account probably a year before you did, you've actually got more tanks in your garage than I have, and of a decent tier. I tend to sell and just focus on a set number of tanks, so everything before it gets sold, I'm not keeping them. So I've only got about 30 tanks, I want to say, on the EU account. I think you've got a lot more and of higher tiers as well. So you've done very well, to be honest. You know,
yeah,
I'm
average XP
not a
will
year
get
older.
you. Yeah, average XP will get you a little further along. Although I would say you probably have tanks that have a lot more battles than I do.
Yeah, probably
You
because
know
I
what I
just
mean?
focus on two lines. I do the Soviet
Yeah,
and the American. Yeah.
and whatever premiums you have there probably have a lot of battles.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the tank
yeah.
with the most battles I have is 120 or something like that.
Right, okay.
That's,
All
my
right.
tank, my battles are spread out across, and I have a lot less battles than you, I think, too.
Right, okay.
Significantly less, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I'm only up in some like 5 or 6 thousand battles
Yeah,
on that
so I'm at
account. So,
1,500 or 1,200 somewhere in
right,
there.
okay. Okay.
Sutek, that's what I was saying. Yeah, because I have no imagination. Oh, Arnie. Jeez, I don't know.
What can you put him in? Don't give him a tank. Make him walk around the battlefield. That'd be
And
cool.
Smash,
Smash tanks like
Smash.
Hulk.
Well, the Terminator, he is a tank, right?
He is a tank. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
made of metal, isn't he? So there you go.
it's a liquid tank.
Yeah.
Well, if he's a liquid tank, he's probably going to have to be an EBR or something.
Oh
Because they're
dear.
magic and they take hits and they shrug it off, and
Yeah,
the
I
shells
guess.
don't
Yeah,
penetrate, and
yeah,
it's hard to kill, and it's
yeah.
overpowered.
I think you're right, mate. That would be. He'll have to be tier 10 to EBR though. Can't stick him in anything less.
Or the mouse, Jimmy. That's a good point. Jimmy has a good point.
True. True.
One
One
person,
man crew.
yeah, he just throws the mouse at them.
Picks it up and hits him with the soggy end. I'm gonna hit
Put
you with
it.
the soggy end of this tank.
So I should put him in the mouse, make sure they have controlled impact, and try to ram people
Yeah.
very
Just ram 'em.
very slowly.
Yeah. Do hardening and controlled impact. That'd sort it out. Just
T95.
put in them.
T95 is a good one.
It is a good one, yeah.
Yeah. Robert Patrick, he was the liquid metal. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right, because Arnie was always the old school, the
He
T1000
was, yeah, that's right, the
or
T1000.
100, whatever the
Yeah, yeah,
original thing was.
yeah, yeah,
Is there a
yeah.
oh brute press? Come on, man, come on.
That's terrible.
Oh, he likes the maids apparently.
Apparently so.
Likes
Geo's
the
in the
maids.
house. Happy New
Geo,
Year,
what's
Geo.
happening, man? Let's see. Still channel stuff. What else we got going on? Computer Hunt is ongoing, guys. No new info on there. I haven't received my refund yet. So as soon as I get that, I'll start shopping again. Next stream. So New Year schedule. Well, first of all, we're back to the future where I work. Where everyone's freaking about the Omarian video version, the Omaricron, the Omicron.
The Omicron.
Yeah. So apparently now we shut down on some things that might happen, which is awesome. What that means is that I'm back to a lot of telework. So I maybe have a little extra time. If we do go back fairly soon, and I kind of expect we might, then I'm going to have a little less time because they've changed the schedule. Now I only have one day off every 2 weeks. Potentially with a telework day, but I don't know, man. It's for 2 straight years. It's just been,
Yeah. Well, here's a question then. Here's the question. When are you in a position in here that you think, you know what, I can go down to a 3-day week or something like that? Or is that not a factor?
I can't because I'm a government worker and I owe them
Oh,
40,
of course
40
you are.
hours.
Yeah, of course you are.
40
You've
hours
got
a
to do
week.
the full thing, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, basically I'm a clock in, clock out hour guy.
Yeah.
That's been sort of tossed out the window for the last 2 years because of the pandemic. But at some point they're going to come to the realization.
They're going to come back to it.
Yeah, the people got to be freaking in the office doing the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
My job, it doesn't require me to sit at a desk and punch computer keys for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's more of a it is more of a what's the word? Not contractor, but consultant kind of idea that
Right.
it's the
Okay. So you've got to be
knowledge.
out and about. Yeah.
It's the experience and knowledge that they're using, and then for 3
Yeah.
to 6 hour periods, I'm in the sim grinding away on the missions and training the kids.
Yeah.
Up to 9 hours sometimes if I've got 3 sims in a row. We're just cranking through.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, we have what we call additional duties and other things that have to be done. You got security stuff, paperwork, and you got to do all your training and all your QUEEP training stuff like.
Well, do you have
don't
to
sexually
submit...
assault people? You got to have training for that because in case you forget.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I guess you have to submit reports on each of your students and all.
We don't write the grade sheets, but we are involved a little bit in the debrief stuff. Their instructors write we kind of again, we're like a consultant. We'll talk to them. Go, all right, here's what I saw. Here's what he did good from our standpoint, bad from our standpoint. We don't see what the student's doing on what we call the console. He has a lot of cross check and manipulation he has to do. They got a mouse and a keyboard and various buttons and stuff and a radar scope basically, and they're doing a lot of stuff that we don't see. So they can actually hook the ride for crew coordination, which is between them and what they call their assist, which is like another kid another student who's doing a lot of the stuff to get the picture right for the kid who's doing the controls.
Right.
So they may buffoon that, and we have no idea. And we can. And sometimes if all the comm and everything's fine, that it looks okay to us, but the instructor's looking at go, dude, we got to, you're gonna hook the ride because you're not doing what you need to be doing right here. Or they could completely buffoon it in terms of comm to us and SA. One of us gets killed because they didn't do the right thing, and then we can go, hey, this kid needs a hook because that was dangerous for us. So it's kind of cool. It's like this combination teamwork thing. Yeah,
no, exactly that, because in the thick of it, it's going to be stressful anyway for those guys in real life. So while they're training, it's good to get that sort of that double aspect of it, because they're going to have to deal with that sort of pressure load in real life if they get through it all. So it makes it,
absolutely,
it makes it 100% good training.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a fairly high stress job for a new lieutenant. I mean, let's be honest, it's not flying a fighter, but
No.
But they're responsible. Their scope of responsibility in the C2 world is pretty large. That you're
Yeah.
dumping on a
Yeah.
second lieutenant, first lieutenant. Now they're not
Yeah.
decision makers, but they're SA gatherers for the
Yeah.
for
Exactly
the
that.
captain
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
major or lieutenant colonel who's
Yeah.
kind of running the
Yeah.
crew and making
Yeah.
the decisions, then coordinating with
Yeah.
higher headquarters. But it's a lot of it is a lot of responsibility for them to get that part of it right.
Well, it's got to be right because bad intel costs lives, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
we used to have this thing. We had the intelligence corps. Here's a story for you, and it's the only one about Northern Ireland you'll ever get off me because I don't do politics. But I was in what was called the close observation platoon for my regiment. So we used to go out into the sticks and closely observe the terrorists where we found them and where we could. And to get to wherever we were going to go, we had to rely on the intelligence corps to say that there was a clear area where we could heli in, drop in, and then patrol in, and all the rest of it. And also the location where we were doing the observing from had to be suitable. Obviously, cover and all that sort of good stuff. So the intelligence corps told us that there was a roadside ditch covered in bulrushes, which is absolutely perfect for a hide. We went, okay, that's brilliant. We dropped in 8 miles out. We tabbed in, full kit, everything else in the middle of the night, slid into this ditch. No bulrushes, absolutely bare bones. So
just 8 guys laying in a ditch out in the open.
Yeah, we're like, what intelligence corps dickhead did this?
Couple leaves waving off the helmet.
So we then had to navigate right the way back round to basically a pig shed that we kept pigs in. And I fell into the pig shit, but that's a different story anyway. So we managed to get into the barn, and we could observe through the cracks in the big doors. And we were trying to watch out for what was technically called a quartermaster coming in with a vehicle, offloading Armalites to the ASU or whoever it was that was supposed to be collecting it.
Right.
So we could get the car number plates, the photographs. So we had all the cameras and everything. But we set up the general purpose machine gun for defence in case anything happened. So we're all there. We're doing it. It was just cracking dawn. Photographs going off. There's the IRA quartermaster.
Farmer shows up.
Exactly. Farmer opens the door.
I mean, what genius? What genius didn't know that was going to happen?
Well, you see, I wasn't in charge of that patrol.
I was going to say, were you in charge of this clown act?
I was just a lance corporal. It was the full screw, the full corporal who was in charge. And I said at the time when I fell into the pig shit, I said, "Do you think this is a good idea?" And he went, "Yeah." And I went, "Okay." So I'm sticking a pig shit. So we're all stood there, all blacked up with ghillie suits on and everything else, machine guns in hand. This farmer opens the door and he promptly has a heart attack on us and drops to the floor. I don't think it was a heart attack, he just dropped to the floor. So we just skedaddled and got out of there, you know what I mean? Calling in the heli to get us out there, but it was so funny. But that's coming back to the intel. The intelligence corps swore blind when we got back. No, there's bulrushes in that ditch. Well, it transpires that the ditch he was thinking about was 4 miles away. Nowhere near the target. Yeah, thanks, intelligence corps. Not by name and not by nature.
You were sold a load of bulrush.
Yeah.
You were absolutely sold a load of bulrush.
Absolutely. Intel.
Yeah, consultant is a combination of con and insult. Yeah, that's 100%, man. Oh man, let's see. So what did we hear?
That was a story.
So brute brass. That's interesting. You say that. Yes, that's possible. That's maybe the future. You could do it from home. The problem is, and he's talking about DCS. The issue the military has, to some extent, is the classification problem. Because some of the things we do and talk about are classified. But that's not an unjumpable hurdle. It's just something that has to be dealt with. The problem then becomes that the hidebound bureaucracy is not very agile, and it's hard for them to kind of think about how to get around that. They'd rather just pay giant defense conglomerates stupid amount of money to build another special widget.
Yeah.
But yes, you can do it in DCS. I actually demoed that to the Squadron Air Force as part of the company that I have. trying to get them to understand that these things are out there, and there are ways to leverage that stuff. But yeah, you could fly it in DCS. If you know about DCS, and obviously you've probably seen things like Growling Sidewinder's server, where they rage around and there's controllers, and there's people flying fighters, and they're dropping bombs, and it's basically a little virtual war, flying pretty freaking close to reality jets, man. It's pretty cool.
I remember the discussion we had when I watched you on DCS once, and you said the only difference, the only difference is the peripheral vision. But everything else is almost spot on, both graphical and it's not quite real life, but it's good enough to train with. And then the only thing you have to focus on the fact is that your peripheral vision doesn't exist in the VR.
Yeah.
But you have to turn your head a lot more and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, you do. You have to turn your head a lot. My new headset is much better. The reverb is way better than
is it? Right, okay.
Oculus was, but they're getting better and better. But yeah, that's a big deal, because that kind of the SA you gather as a human sitting in 1G, that peripheral vision is important to orienting yourself with where you are, and you can see that little movement. The human eye is cued on movement to a large extent. So when you're looking through a soda straw like this, it becomes more difficult to do the things.
Yeah.
Just being able to look over and go, oh, there's an airplane. And sometimes when you say I look over, I'm looking there, but really I'm noticing this dude way over here. But you can't really do that in VR very easily because of the limitations of it. But they're getting better and better. And it's procedural and basic kind of training stuff, but it's important because that's the stuff you need to practice when you're actually flying. That becomes second nature, and you're not concentrating so hard on what you're doing with your HOTAS, what you're doing with your radar, where you're gathering your SA. Now we're more into the higher order, what to do with all that information.
Yeah. I guess you get to a point, especially with the amount of training that pilots do, you get to a point where everything becomes muscle memory and psychological. It all happens around you, and then it allows you to focus on other things. Because I've done DCS. I cannot get to the point where I can actually fly the bloody aircraft properly because I'm focused on a million things at once.
Yeah,
I'm like, how the heck?
Oh, absolutely. And my training and career has made me able to do that pretty easily.
Do that. Yeah.
I remember I did a BFM tournament. One of the things you had to do was land. Actually, there was two things that I remember on the comments. The first one was,
do that either.
The first one was I got into what's called a two-circle fight. You're going the same direction around a circle, basically. 2 circles is what it means. One guy on one side, one on the other, and you can be at different angles, but basically it's 2 circles of 2 different airplanes chasing each other around. And when I got down there, I just nailed the corner sustained rate, and I'm just cruising along at the sustained rate, just within about 10 knots. And the people who are watching, we're all in comms on Discord, and they're like, "Holy crap! How is he holding that airspeed that good?" I'm like, "Well, that's just because I have practice doing it." I've done that under G, and I just have a concept of how fast I need to cross-check to keep doing it. And what you're saying is a lot of people get down there and they're so busy paying attention to the other airplane, they forget what they're doing, and then they bleed off airspeed. Next thing they know, they're at 250 knots and not 420. And then they go, oh, crap, and then they concentrate on that, and then the airplane's, now they've lost the airplane. But you get that fast cross-check because you have practice doing it. And the second one was landing.
Right.
And a lot of that has to do, gamers can land pretty well, but I had a general idea, obviously, of how the Eagle flies. So when I land the Eagle in DCS, it's very smooth, very controlled. They're like, "Holy crap! How do you land it that smoothly or whatever?" Well, I mean, I've done it a couple thousand times.
I go upside down when I try and land. I'm coming in like this, and I'm following all the markers. And by the time I get to the runway, I'm actually upside down. I'm thinking, I don't know why I'm upside down.
Now, there's no reason why the gamers can't get to that, and some do.
Yeah.
But you have to practice, and you have to practice with a purpose, right?
Yes.
You have to have parameters. You want to. I need to land within the first 1,500 feet. I need to land on speed. I need to have the right. Descent angle through no more than 3 degrees.
Angle, yeah.
I need to have the right descent rate.
Yeah.
All those things that we practice in the jet, because if you pork it away, you push the gear up through the wings, or you crash, or you piss off the IP because you had a hard landing, you blow a tire, all the stupid things that can happen in real life.
Yeah.
In games, you don't really have to worry about that. So, if they prang it on, They don't care. If they hit and they roll off into the field, bad landing, who cares? You know what I'm saying? But when I landed, I'm like, shit, I do not want to crash. Like, when I landed in DCS, I'm like, I do not want to crash this thing.
No.
So I treat it as if real world kind of stuff. So it's kind of...
I guess that becomes natural anyway, because you're naturally taking the glide path that's correct and all the rest of it, because
that's all visual pictures I know.
Yeah.
You know, and I started landing the 16 and it's similar, but I had to learn a few things, and I talked to a couple of buddies who flew it, so I started getting better. I already had that basic idea of how to land a fighter, how to land a fast-moving jet. But I got better and better, and I would suspect I'm really not great compared to them. So it's practicing with a purpose, and that's important, because this VR stuff is good. And it can be great training, but you have to do it with the right intentions and purpose. And really, it translates to World of Tanks as well.
Yeah.
In a pixel tank version of it, which is kind of the whole angle of the channel.
Yeah.
Somebody said, ABMs, DMT at home. Yeah, absolutely. For the ABMs specifically, though, the cool thing about DCS, and I'm assuming you might be using. What's the control overlay that they built for it? Not TacView, but there's another thing. It was an ATC module built for DCS, and now you're using it for control. But anyway, the point of that is an ABM can sit there. These are the controllers, and they can gain all kinds of SA by using DCS, doing the measurements, and just paying attention to a crazy air picture, and just get better at gathering SA. But back to tanks anyway.
Yeah,
that was a good tangent.
It was, wasn't it? Sorry about that.
Yeah. VR does make my face sweaty as well. Let's see. I don't even know we haven't even got off channel news yet.
We haven't really.
That whole thing started with next stream. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stack up tomorrow, maybe tomorrow as well. Okay, that's it, man. Missions and specials, shall we?
We shall. Let's get it going. There you go. Blue light
special. All right, I'm gonna make a concise, succinct shill. Buy large boxes. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, buy as many as you can afford.
I mean,
I'd also buy Guido's mug.
Yeah,
4th of July mug.
Just spend money. Buy your way out of your bad feelings, and
make it feel better.
Right.
In fact, make it feel even better. Spend somebody else's money.
Yeah. Spend your mom's money. You're living in mom's basement. You bunch of losers anyway.
How did you know?
Because I'm in my mom's basement. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
It has windows, though. I don't know. It's not a basement. My mom has a pretty nice house, actually, now, compared to what she had when I was a kid.
It's the way that it happens, isn't it? You know.
Boxes, guys.
Boxes.
Yeah.
Jeepers, if you have to buy any more, it's madness now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now then, here's the thing. Remember the conversation we had last year about boxes? Do you buy at the very beginning or the very end? Because that's the most likely time when you're going to get the best rewards. I wonder if that's going to pan out. I wonder whether you're going to buy any boxes on the last day just to see what you get.
I may buy some boxes on the EU account towards the end.
To see if you get all the good rewards.
Well, just to chuck some stuff at the EU account.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, to
thank
myself for all the hard work I put in playing the Pixel Tank game.
It's so hard.
I worked and worked and worked. Yeah, my face. I was sweaty. I was a sweaty gamer.
Yeah.
They have been watching me complain about EU, though, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah. All right.
But it's been, to be fair, this last week has been fairly manic, stupid, crazy.
I know exactly what you're saying without being able to say that word. Maniacal?
That's
Maniacal.
the one.
Maniacal.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I think you caught that from me.
One flank deployments. I just don't get it. Right, we'll all go down the right flank. Why?
I think after you left, guys, remember this? Right after you left, it was Studzianski.
Right.
And when I tell you nobody went to the ditch side,
You're
I am
joking.
not even kidding. As in zero. I was headed that way, and they all went to the little factory and the little hill. And a couple guys in the very back leaning that way.
You've got to say, yeah, you're
It
like,
was
I don't know.
awesome.
I give
It
up.
was. Oh, we got rocked. We got absolutely murdered. I got Artied 4,200 times. Artie
Brilliant.
eventually killed me. I think. Actually, no. I think a medium pushed over and took my last 130 or whatever. Anyway, speed
Anyway.
count. Don't do it. Just get boxes for now. Vehicles. Don't do it. Just get boxes for now. Although some of these exclusives are still out there. These have been here for a couple months now. And specials, don't do it. They're boxes. So, there you go. We shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the vehicles, pretty standard vehicles, aren't they? There's nothing at all, nothing.
Yeah.
Even on the EU.
But really, that's the whole point of this. However, we do have the new year coming, so Yo tanks are on the way. Probably a premium, some kind of marathon in January, I would imagine. So we're certainly going to have stuff come up. Let's take a quick look here at what we do have coming up, as far as we know, anyway. Where's the silly thing? Preview for January. There's not a whole lot in here.
Yep.
Referral program extended to January 17th. So if you do have a referral person, continue trucking on that to the 17th. We have well-deserved reward. That's going to be for the whole year. There's no reason. If you log in, obviously, if you have extra accounts out there, make sure you log in before the end of next year. Holiday Ops goes to, guys, this is important, January 10th. So we have 8 days left of Holiday Ops. And then there's going to be the 3 slots that will exist past that. Now, I don't remember, I don't think the credit bonus persists, or does it?
Well, that's a good question, because each of those slots give you bonuses. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't it? It would make sense. But then again, nothing in Wargaming does make sense.
Well, I think the slots for crew, combat, or free experience still will exist. They've said that, but I don't know if the credit bonus continues to persist. I don't think it does. I don't know.
It's a shame, isn't it? That would be cool, because then overall the whole package would have been ideal, wouldn't it? Really, continue the bonuses up to the 10th.
Yeah, I think Kedge is right. I think it does continue, or it did continue in the past. I don't remember what the article said this time, but anyway, look for that. It may do. Somebody just said their house general just yelled, "No more boxes."
Yeah, Geo just said, "No more boxes," from the background.
So that's cool. That'll persist into January. We have there's something that the Chieftain is doing. He's going to be talking to author James Holland, who's wrote a book about a tank regiment. I'm not sure which one. Doesn't say. So that's coming. On track missions, we're going to have the Badger, the Leopard, the Object version 4, and the Panzer 7. That thing needs some buff love.
Well, so many more Bobjects are now going to be in the game after that, aren't they? Talking books, here's a tangent. Sitting there with the Kindle that I got for Christmas from my lad,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there. I've picked up a book by Michelle Obama, and I've just got the sample down. I haven't actually bought the book. The sample gives you the first chapter and a chapter and a half. Wow, you will not believe, when you read somebody's life story like that, it's hard to believe that where she ended up from where she came from. Amazing story of a poor. This is why I love the United States of America. Get me completely. I love the United States of America because anybody given the right incentive can make good of themselves in the United States, because you applaud achievements, whereas in a lot of places in the world, achievements are always put upon, always put down.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I mean, she came from a back street in Chicago, almost ghetto, not quite, and so on and so on. And I've only read the first chapter. I'm definitely going to get the book and read it, because irrespective, never mind politics, the personality to have got through what she got through, to be where she was, amazing. And I just love the fact that you can go from that level to, First Lady, or like Ronald Reagan, from an actor with a chimp called whoever to the president of the United States. I made a good job of it, to be fair, and so on and so on. I just think it's amazing. I love your country. I really do. Anyway, long story cut short.
Excellent. That was a preview to July 4th.
Yeah.
The more of that speech on July 4th. Buy your mug with the flag. Let's see. The E25 is being sold again. Remember when they removed it from the shop because it was a problem?
It was just too much, yeah.
Good times. Remember those days? Those were good days. Remember those days? Imagine everything has power crept so much that it just doesn't matter if they sell the E25 anymore.
Yeah. In fact, it's not far off that. It's not far because its armor is pretty weak.
Well, that's why they sell it. Everything is so power crept that the E25 is now under the noise level, right? The standard noise level of the radar return, E25 is now below it. It's no longer given a return above the noise level. Nobody cares anymore, even though it is ridiculously overpowered for what it is.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's the best scout in the game. It's not. Well, I mean,
it's
TV,
yeah. I mean, the pain it causes is now just not even up there with the rest of the tanks that are causing pain.
No.
So they went right back to selling it. That no fanfare, no made a mistake, whatever. They just sell it
because they don't care now, do they? Because it doesn't matter, does it?
TL1 LPC, IS-3A, Cromwell B, IS-3A, the tank that destroyed the game.
Yeah.
Kampfpanzer RH, T-44-100, KV-2R. That's the Warhammer version. FV-1066 Senlac. Then we're going to have the ISU 152K 274 Alpha and Rheinmetall Scorpion G. There's a couple. I mean, obviously, you've done the E25. They're goofy and fun. TL1 LPC is okay. I think it's not nearly as good as people said it was because I haven't seen it really around. It's got a lot going for it, but it's just not. There's better tanks.
Yeah.
Tanks that killed the game. Yeah. There you go.
That's what you need a list of.
Yeah. IS-3A is interesting, but not that good. Kampfpanzer is okay for that style if you're a mobile plink person. T-44-100 is just an all-around pretty good medium. KV-2R, the HE mechanic change has sort of killed it. Senlac is, not bad. ISU, you're dropping 750. That's about all you're doing. 274 Alpha is better than I think people reviewed it, but not amazing. And of course, the Rheinmetall.
The problem with that is that people wanted to play it like a hover medium, like a Super Soviet, the 430 type thing, and it's not a full 30. It's not a full 30 at all. But that's how people approached it, I think, and they found it quite difficult because it's a lot softer than a 430, as I found out.
That sounds like sour grapes.
Yeah. I thought I was buying an op premium 430 light tank, and it wasn't anything like the 430. 38% win rate in it. That tells you everything, doesn't it?
Oh man, I have a couple of those. MLK Day from January 14th, 18th, and then at the end of the month we're gonna have a Lunar New Year celebration. Showdown Saturday is going to continue, and Lots Next will continue. So really, no big secrets being let out right there. I.e., is there a marathon? Is there a new premium tank? When are the Yo tanks coming? My understanding is Yo tanks are headed to common tests pretty soon.
Right. Okay.
So there's been another round of changes to the Yo tanks on the super test. Pretty soon you'll be able to play them on the common test and get your first views of how some of those tanks are going to go.
Yeah.
All right. Missions codes. New Year Yay. New Year Yay. That's the Carnarvon AX. That is Commander AF. Happy 22 watt. Somebody chuck that into chat for me. That is 22 boxes on both EU and NA. It works on both. So I would do that if you haven't. Thank you, Wayne. And Pilgrim. Happy 22 watt. Works on both. Make sure you crank that one out. Pilgrim, can you dump in that code for EU that we had?
Yeah, doing it now.
What does it give? Some personal reserves.
Right, this one I'm putting in gives you the fireworks skins for EU.
Yeah.
And then the other one gives you some consumables and reserves and some ×5 wins, which I'm just about to do now.
Yeah, it's a fairly complicated code, so you might want to cut and paste.
Yeah.
All right, and I think that's it for missions and specials. Did we have anything else to chuck in there?
No, I don't think so.
Take a quick look at the website here. Ops, large boxes. Oh, just for logging in, I'm sure most of you have, you're going to get 40, I think, decorations just for logging in, 50,000 shards, and 10 anti-duplicators, and 3 days of Watt Premium. So if you haven't done that, between now and January 10th, if you haven't logged in, make sure you log in your account and get those things. Although the only one that really matters is the 3 days of premium, unless you're going to start late with the holiday ops stuff. Still, though, that's nice of them. That's more stuff to crank up your festive level and your percentage. So really, they've done a lot to just kind of chuck all this stuff at us.
Well, this is what we were saying. I think they've just give you, you know what, just have it all, and be done with you.
You bunch of cry ass whiners.
Shut up here, have it. It's like when the kids whine too much. You go, oh, you can have the chocolate cake, sod it. Now you're going to be sick.
I like the tanks that killed the game pack. That's good.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's good. That's good. What would be in it? Let's see. The Chrysler K.
Yes.
The Defender.
Yeah, definitely.
The
IS-3A.
IS-3A, the E25.
Yeah.
Those are the 4.
There is, yeah.
EBR.
EBR, definitely. Definitely 5. Can't think of much else.
Yeah, but did they call this? Have people called the Scorp like totally overpowered for its time? Yeah, maybe.
When it first came out, the Scorp G, yeah, I think it was. I think it was because it was such an accurate and big hitter.
Hold on, that red dot just was calling to me. Hold on, there we go. I just had to do this. There we go. You know what? I can't stand it. You know what I'm going to do?
You're going to do it now, aren't you?
I'm just going to unlock that with my free experience. Because then I get this very satisfying situation where I can come back here and turn my crew training on, and now I won't forget.
There you go.
Oh, that feels so good. I just completed something, just like that.
Just like that.
I'm so
all
happy.
That hard work.
I'm so happy right now. I worked hard to unlock all that stuff, man.
Yeah, all that hard work and brow sweat to achieve something.
Total.
Ah, dear.
Spider monkey on crack. They haven't sold the EBR.
Yeah, the Leaf. Sutek's right for what an overpowered little piece of artillery that is.
Oh, the LEF. Yeah, you could toss that in there as the low tier, thing. Okay, let's see. Holiday ops conversation.
Have we done the AMBT auto loader medium?
No, let's talk about that, man. Let's move on to subjects du jour, although we've kind of wandered aimlessly through this whole event.
We have.
We're going to go over to two-line push here. By the way, guys, I'm starting to find this website, twolinepush.com, to be one of the better blogs for stuff, at least English-speaking ones. The layout's nice, and he seems to cover pretty much everything you'd want. Also, if you look, I don't know if you can see it, he has some nice drop downs with specific areas. Yeah. He actually covers specifically common sandbox and super test. And it's got social media stuff, YouTube stuff. I don't know. This website is starting to become my kind of go-to for the English speaking side. Yeah. We're going to come over here to the K2 though, because this is what we want to look at. This is basically, not basically, it is an IS-4 prototype at tier 8.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Given that, the old caveat they always put in is that things can change because it is in super test.
Interesting stuff. It has pretty good turret armor at 250, standard Soviet shape. It's not a pike. It's a slight pike nose-ish, more like the IS-4, pretty heavily angled at 160 with a good angle. It is. How fast is it? It's not very fast necessarily, right? 30, which is okay. The pen is low. It's carrying the ubiquitous 122.
Yeah.
So it's dropping 390, which actually doesn't seem like much at tier 8 anymore. But it's only 196 with a standard round, but it's carrying a 270 heat round.
Yeah.
Which is more than enough to deal with stuff. Most stuff tier 8C minus some of the big heavy hitting heavies at tier 10 and TDs. So there you go. It has pretty bad dispersion at 0.44 for the moment. The reload time is extremely long at 15 seconds. That is a long time. 2.9 aiming. -6 gun depression, so not great there. Only 30 ammo rounds. View range is atrocious at 350.
Yeah. But it depends what classification they're going to give it. If it's a breakthrough heavy tank, then it sort of that doesn't matter, does it?
Right.
But I guess the armor's going to let it down, really, if that's what they're going to class it.
So basically, it's just some kind of down-tiered IS-4 thing.
Right.
Remember, the IS-4 was a 9 for a long time.
Oh yes, it was, wasn't it? That's right. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I think so. Is that right? I think it was.
I think so. Yeah.
Wait a minute. No. Wasn't the IS-4 right before the IS-7?
I thought it was. I thought that was the tier 9, and then it was the. Might be wrong, actually.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. Anyway, IS-4 is now a tier 10, and this is his little brother. All right, so we got that, and we have the AMBT, which I don't think is on two-line push after I got done raving about it. I don't remember seeing it here.
I found it on there.
Did you?
Common test. Go to common test.
Okay. Common test.
And then it should show on there.
There it is. AMBT. Nice.
Yeah.
He should have a section new tanks. All right.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
As if we needed another autoloader, or if you love autoloaders, congratulations, we have another autoloader.
Yeah.
Tier 8 AMBT. This is a medium tank carrying a 360 damage autoloader with 3 shells.
Yeah. I hope the stats get changed slightly, but that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right, its armor's not that much good, but it's a medium, so it doesn't need good armor, does it?
What's its turret got? 250, right? 250 turret. That's plenty.
Turret's good, yeah. Turret's good.
Yeah. Hold down. -9 gun depression. Not quite -10, but usable.
Yeah.
Fairly long aiming time. Not great dispersion at 0.38, but still dropping 360 alpha with 3 shells. What's the intra load? 3 seconds. That's fairly long, so we'll take a while to get those shells downrange.
Yeah.
Is it an autoloader or a reloader?
Reload, I think, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, did I read that wrong?
Where does it say?
Sure, it says in the heading for it. Does it not say auto reloader or auto loader?
It says autoloader.
Auto loader.
All right, so it's a standard. Wait. No? Because it's giving specific times between shells.
Between shells, so it must be a reloader then, surely.
Son of a. Yeah, with the decreasing time. So what is that, Italian style, right?
Yeah, same as the Italians. So effectively just means you'll have a shell in the barrel at all times, won't you? Do we need it? No. Do we want it? Probably, yes.
Yeah, that's right. It is. I mean, basically, that cat is so far out of the bag at this point. But you're talking about, when you get into a pub match, it's 50% or more auto loader, auto reloader, double barrel things. Nearly everything is some kind of high alpha burst thing, because that's just what, in a trading game. That's just what wins.
Well, exactly that, and you can blame. If you want to blame anybody, you can blame RU for that, because RU, when the Progetto came out, RU went hand over fist, the premium one, and they bought it like nobody else, and they play it all the time. If you ever play or watch any of the RU server play, nearly every team, or used to, every team would have 2 or 3 of these things on each team.
Yeah.
Because it was just massive. It was just a massive game changer. Edge, I quit.
Bitwise thinks it'll be a battle pass tank. That could be.
Oh, I think it probably.
Yeah. How many new Battle Pass tanks were put in? Battle Pass tanks were tier 9s, though, weren't they?
Were they not? Because that's the only thing I can remember was that it would. Oh, I don't know. Hang on.
The heck were they?
I no, I think they were. Yeah, I'm trying to think
Yeah,
now.
Battle Pass has been tier 9, but who knows?
Tier
They could
9.
switch it
Yeah,
up. I don't know. It's listed as a tier 8 Char AE object. Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Char AE. Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting. There are quite a few 9s out there. I wonder which Kunze-Panzer and K91 were the new ones. There you go. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Battle Pass should restart sometime in January, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
January, February, whatever it was. Obviously not by the 10th, I'd imagine, but maybe mid-January to early February. Tier 11,
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
would seem about right, wouldn't it? Yeah.
They've been pretty adamant about not putting tier 11, but it does seem a natural expansion point that I don't know why you would not explore that at some point to keep the game alive.
I think right. Okay. This is my thoughts on it only. To push past tier 10, given that the tanks that they're bringing in as tier 10 are loosely 1960s tanks ish and a few blueprints from prior. I think to bring in tier 11, you start to go down the armored warfare type, where you start to see Abrams and you start to see Leopard 2s and you start to see, and that makes it a completely different ball game because the ammunition, the firing mechanisms, and everything else are so much far apart from the 1960s tanks. From
Yeah, but
the
that's just numbers, Pilgrim. They just adjust the numbers. I mean,
oh,
I've heard
do you
that
think they were
argument
just
so many
nerfing
times. It's like,
something?
okay, I mean, we're already past the point of return on realism. You just adjust the numbers,
So they
And
they move
I'm
them
not
far
saying you would
apart.
add an Abrams. I don't know.
You'd have to have an Abrams with HE only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said it'd kill tier 8s. I don't know if it would kill tier 8s. People who play tier 10s people who concentrate on 10s only usually play 8s to grind credits.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're going to lose many of that. They're still going to go to 8 to grind the credits because that's where the credits are.
And also with tier 8, I don't know if you've noticed this, Guido, but on a lot of tanks now, they're all tier 8 games. There's, obviously the ones that drag you into tier 10. But predominantly the tier 8s, it feels like a lot of tier 8 battles are tier 8 battles. And that's quite
Yeah,
nice.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get too. I don't find myself in a situation now with matchmaking where I'm like, God, all I ever play is 10s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
All I
yeah,
ever
yeah,
see
yeah.
is 10s, not play, but
Yeah.
I'm playing my 8s, and
Tier.
all I ever see is 10s. I don't. I mean, maybe a couple times I'm like, crap, another tier 10, but I haven't been in those sessions like 2 years ago where you're like, good God, can I get away from these freaking 10s? Like you said,
Yeah.
there's a lot of 8s. There's very
Yeah,
few
yeah.
top tier. That's a fun when you get it. There's very few of
Yeah.
those, but as far as being in an all 8 or an all 8 and 9,
Yeah.
see that quite a
Yeah.
bit.
And I quite enjoy that part. I like to play tier 8s because I enjoy that because that becomes down more to individual skill as opposed to having a tank that is 2 tiers higher than you. Do you know what I mean? So you're up against
Sure. Yeah.
similar sort of
Yeah.
type tanks and similar sort of levels of tanks. So okay, you get the odd one which is overpowered, but you deal with that. Then
When
that's a
someone
challenge.
beats you, then when someone
Yeah,
beats you, you know they're a cheater.
exactly. You can scream hacking all day long then.
You know they're hacking.
Hacking. Oh, here. Talking about hacking, here's a. I know because it's server sided, it's quite difficult to hack more World of Tanks. But I play DayZ quite a lot, as we're on subjects to Zor. Well, I've just been YouTubing. I was up until 2 o'clock this morning, just YouTubing all the different things and the tips and that for DayZ. I mean, I'm fairly competent at DayZ, to be honest. I'm solo and I can survive until the server wipe, which is a pain in the backside. You just get to a position, then the server wipes and you start again. But anyway, that's the game. But there is this hack out there, which I am flabbergasted that it actually is allowed to get through the system because they've got this Battle Eye anti-cheat system on DayZ, and it's supposed to stop all this. But there's a hack where you can actually go underground, so you can be underground under the map, and you can see all the players, and they can't see you, and you can shoot them. I know I've been shot a couple of times from nowhere, and I'm thinking, how did they kill me? I've got no idea where this guy. I'm just wondering whether that. I mean, what sort of person plays the game like that? I'm going to completely and utterly cheat this game and sit under the map so nobody can see me and just shoot people. What is the point in that? I don't get it.
I know why.
What? Go on then.
Because they're idiots.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, they continued the Neanderthal line as opposed to the Homo sapien
Because
line.
some jagoffs just want to watch the world burn, and they get their jollies off being complete arseholes.
Yeah.
For example, and some of you sent me a note about this, there's a forum name now on NA, George Preddy 69's Guido 1212.
You're famous, dude. Well, you're famous along with George Preddy. Well, that's both of you, isn't
Well,
it?
that's a different story. My feelings on him are anyway. We don't need to go there. But
No.
the fact that some goofball doesn't that take gold to change your name?
I think it does, I think it's 500 gold or something, isn't it?
Now, I know you can get free gold by doing stuff and tournaments and whatever, but the account appears to be one of these bot accounts or found accounts. It was new. I don't know how long it's been out there.
But you know what? You're famous enough for people to want to clone you. So that's a good thing, isn't it?
I mean, I responded to something he said. I'm like, I love this name, never change. And if somebody makes him change it. It wasn't me. I'm not sending anything in. I don't really care.
No.
But
yeah,
it's connected to what we were just talking about as far as cheating and people being jagoffs. Look, man, you're on this earth for X amount of hours. You spent a portion of your lifetime trying to troll me, a no account tiny YouTube guy who plays a Pixel Tank game. Man, you do you, man. Good. I mean, okay, good. I mean, I don't have to understand it, and that's fine.
No,
but
no.
I don't know what reaction you were expecting. And now I'm spending time talking about it. But you know what?
Yeah.
This is what I do right here. So all you're doing is giving me fuel to talk about stupid people and proving that you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The worrying thing about that is that somebody actively thought about that to do and thought it was a good idea. And secondly, that's a little bit creepy. That's almost like stalking, isn't it?
Well,
that's almost like...
that's a bigger subject, though, because if you're doing this, and you're part of this now, you and I are doing, we're in a public sphere talking publicly to people, anyone who wants to watch it. That's just par for the course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
So, you can't, I'm not whining about it. I mean, I honestly really don't care. And I enjoy that he's created content for me to talk about. But
exactly.
in chat, it's exactly right. It's like, why are you spending that time doing that? There was I know I've talked about this in the past, but I love this thing because it's the comedian. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me.
Dave Chappell?
No, Dennis Miller. And he had a bit.
Right.
He had a bit a long time ago, and he was quite a liberal guy. And he's he's turned a little more. I won't say conservative. I'm going to say libertarian. So he's kind of gone away from the hardcore left stuff, and he's more trying to think of it from many angles. But that being said, the point of this particular bit from a long time ago was, and he gets this dead on. He's like, you only, as an individual, only have so much power, and depending on how rich you are and your position, and everything, you may have a little more than other people, but you only contain the power that you have. And he's like, people, stop giving your little bit of power to idiots. I.e., if somebody is a scumbag artist, like a rapper or whatever, doesn't have to be a rapper, but somebody who's just a bad person, stop buying their stuff.
Stop giving them things.
Don't give them that little piece of your power. It's the same thing with time. Don't give people your time that don't deserve it. You know what I mean?
They're all saying in chat that I created that account. How did they find out?
I also like the when people make names and stuff like that, the kind of background, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say phobia because I hate when people use it, but the anti-gay thing in there, like that's kind of
Yeah,
the premise of that name.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
as
yeah,
if
yeah,
that's some kind of insult. I'm like, I don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh no, I
Wow, yeah.
69 him. Okay, that's awesome, man. Wow. Oh,
Wow,
you
yeah,
got me,
yeah,
man. You got
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Like I give a shit.
Oh, I don't know how much did he pay me. I don't know.
It's on the similar sort of frame. On the similar frame, we've had this conversation before. You know, when back in the day when I used to get quite salty and abuse used to fly at me, and then people would PM me in game saying,
Or
"I'm
kid,
gonna."
Cliffy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I'm using girl as an insult. Um, and they say, I'm going to find out where you live and shoot you. Well, I used to give them a postcode and say, I'll tell you what, I'll pay for your flight. You come over to the UK and I'll meet you at my front door. How about that,
Yeah,
mate? Nobody's ever took me up on it. You know what I mean?
I'm even past that part. It's like, I mean, I don't know. You know, the dude could be a really tough dude. I don't know. Could be a girl. I don't know who it is, right? It could be.
Yeah,
There's always someone bigger and badder than you. You know, you can run around puffing your chest out and
absolutely.
I'll kick your rear boy and all that stuff. Well, maybe not. Maybe he's a troll and he's bigger and tougher than you. I mean, that's possible. He could just
But
be a big nasty person, or she or whatever. I mean,
I
there's
mean,
MMA women who would beat me down quickly.
well, my house general's 5 foot tall. She can beat me up any day of the week, so it makes me laugh. You know what I mean? So I've got no chance when anybody comes to my front door. I always send her out first. Go deal with that, will you? She's a proper scout, so she'll headbutt you. You
And
know what I
Wayne,
mean?
it could be. And I think if you went with the odds in these situations, it is some classic basement dweller kind of person. If not literally, then that kind. Generally, I think it probably is. I think that well-adjusted adults who have something going on in their life don't spend their time doing that stuff. I'm sure there's exceptions to that, like with everything. But if I was a betting man, if you were going to put some money
Yeah,
on it, that's probably what's going on
yeah,
there. It's
yeah,
it,
yeah.
probably a loser, probably a doofus, you know. Maybe not, but probably.
Yeah, because anybody who spends that much effort and time to say the things and do the things that they do, you've got to say, well, actually, there's more to life than that. And I think if
Yeah.
grown-ups, I think if you're a grown-up, you're sort of like, you wouldn't even, it doesn't even figure on my radar. You know what I mean? I'm
Well, it's
like,
also
oh,
like the insult of you're such a loser. You spend all this time doing this World of Tanks stuff. I'm like, I know, because I
yeah,
like it.
brilliant.
I mean, I don't know. It's my hobby. What do you want from me? It's not. That's not actually an insult, dude.
No, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Um, anyway, yeah, listen, I
Cliffy,
am smaller than my good lady.
my understanding is she's 2.5 feet taller than Pilgrim.
Absolutely. That's why I'm the hobbit of the family. Yes. I live in the Shires, don't you know? I have to look up to her.
I shaved the bottom inch of my beard just to be safe. Oh my gosh, nice fantasy MMA. Like, yeah, yeah. Until
Yeah.
she starts giving you the elbow and crushing the life out of you.
Yeah.
Man, some of those.
Doing that on you
Woo.
when
All
you
right,
refuse to make a cup of tea. Anyway, enough of that.
let's see. Where were we?
I don't know.
Oh
We
yeah,
were weren't
let's
we?
take a. We're gonna take a look at some of the analytics and stuff here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So it's been a good year overall, and I do appreciate the support, guys. So like I said, we'll treat this something like a publicly traded company here. Let's see, where's the insights? There we go. All right, analytics. Let's go to last year. So starting on January 1st, 2021 and ending December 31st, 2021. 35 average viewers, which is, I think, higher than last year. 909 follows in that time. 576 subs, although we had a big sub boost in December, as we usually do. November, December is usually kind of the best month because everyone's sort of happy and gifts flow, and you guys send me stuff, and that I appreciate that. And it comes in terms of gift subs usually, and tips and donations and all that. So it is well received on my part. Let me tell you that. Tell you that for nothing. The revenue for a year on Twitch is $1,612.40, which is estimated because the payout for December hasn't happened until January.
Comes through in January.
Yeah, Twitch pays you the month after when that happens. What else here? 449 hours streamed in 36 months.
Wow. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Realistically.
What is that? 4 days per 100, roughly. So
yeah.
4 times 4, 16. 20 days or so of streaming.
Yeah.
Ish.
Near on a working month.
Yeah.
Streaming. Yeah. You have nothing better to do. You're a sad old man.
I am. I'm sad, stupid old man. Paid subs 584. Prime subs 558, which is interesting. I will throw that out just to self-advertise myself. If you have Amazon Prime and you haven't given somebody on Twitch your free sub, do it. It doesn't cost you anything, and you're chucking a couple bucks, and you're making Amazon pay somebody.
Why not? Yeah, that's a good thing.
Do it.
Right.
I would love it, but if you got someone better, make sure your Amazon Prime sub is used for whoever it is you want to send that money to. There's no skin off you, and it makes Bezos lose $2.50 a month, and that will kill him.
Yeah, no more spacecraft for him.
Gifted subs 297. It has the amount from last period. I don't know what that means. That must be last year. So
it gives you 2 years worth of
analytics. Yeah. So I'm doing better paid subs. I'm doing a little bit less. So I think what I made this year was similar to last year. And I know that the economic situation and all that has affected everybody. So it really kind of leveled off. 53, 54 in ads. I don't. Do you guys see ads when you log onto my channel? I don't know if I have.
Before and after.
Really?
Before and after. Don't see it mid-channel. I see it at the beginning, and I see it at the end. I don't get mid-channel adverts like a lot of the streamers have mid-channel adverts, which is so annoying.
Non-subs do. Okay, non-subs do. Okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right. Wait a minute. What does that mean? Where's your sub?
Well, I've subbed, but I see adverts.
Really?
What do you mean? Where's your subs? I've paid double subs this week.
So ads $53, cheering $118.86, and that's it. So for, like I said, a total $1,612.40. We got 22,349 views. 4,000. The channel had 4,326 views. Oh, that's from channels and then external. So here's the 5 people that I have the most in common with in terms of followers. Warchild Wins, Mr. Beetlebum, Quinetic, Old Man the Wise, and Steel Guts.
Wow, that tells you something.
Doesn't surprise me. I think those are kind of the same. Cliffy had the #1 clip, Pilgrim in the Doghouse. MT Templar had a snapshot clip. That's #2. How to Earn Some Watt Love from Laces. Stupid Artie, Daily Dose Shade, and Operation Get Cliffy. I remember that day. That was funny. Blues Traveler did that one. I think Cliffy was on the other team on that particular day.
Famous. Cliffy's famous.
Yeah, Steel does concentrate on the light tanks, doesn't he? Yeah, absolutely. So that's one place. The other one is YouTube. And YouTube is not nearly as lucrative as it used to be. We're at 2,491 followers. Subscribers, sorry, they call it different. And let's take a look at analytics. We'll go to yearly here. As soon as I figure out how to do it, I have to relearn it every time because they all do it differently. So in 2021, we had 94,539 views. $451. So all those videos I made a whole $451.
I mean, how long is it? It must take you about an hour to get those sorted out, or maybe more than that. So, your average hourly rate must be like 5 cents or something.
Sort of, because I talked about it in the video. I can do them in the amount of time it takes to go through the video, because I can sit down, turn on the video, and commentate through it, and I feel like I don't make too many mistakes.
Okay.
If I sat down and edited it, it could take hours and hours. If I really wanted to perfect it, it could take a couple hours for each video. That's the conundrum.
Yes.
Do I continue to make what are arguably not super professional, or do I try to up it to much more professional? But the time becomes exponential on that kind of thing. It's not like, oh, I'll just do another 30% and it'll be really better. It goes up, and then it becomes it becomes a system. I don't know, a point or system of you have to practice, and of course you get better as you practice. So there you go.
I think if you're in a position, for example, let's quote people like Quickie Baby, or maybe Jingles or something like that has, tens of thousands of viewers, then the monetary, it's his job. It's Quickie Baby's job. So absolutely, he will spend time on each video to make sure that it goes.
But he's getting 70,000 views.
Exactly.
Right? I'm getting 150, maybe 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Except
monetarily, it's not going to pay off.
Yeah.
It's not going to. It's I think also and this is not me shilling you, but I think that the way it comes across is a lot more genuine and a lot more. I like the ad hoc nature. I like the slight fail every now and again, because it makes it more real. You know what I mean? It's more interesting to watch. When Guido's tongue sticks to the roof of his mouth and he can't say a word.
Well, it's always been more of a hobbyist kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, Des and Skill, they get tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands depending on the video.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about that, now those guys are probably making, I don't know what 70,000 is making, 3,000 or 4,000 a month, maybe.
I think
know.
Quinetic actually did the same as you, and he went out and he's put a video out there live about what he made, and he makes 4,000. I don't want to say dollars; it's not pounds. $4,000 a month on average. Does he? Yeah, between 3 and 4. He said he makes more at Christmas, December, which is $4,000.
Yeah.
But normally he makes about 2, 3, 3.5, somewhere there per month. Now, for anybody, that's a living wage. You don't need to work if you're earning that sort of dollars.
Right. That is your work. That surprises me, because his channel, he must have...
Not that big, yeah.
Well, he's bigger than me, because he wasn't at first, which is why I started raiding him. But now that I'm raiding him, I'll go in there and he's got a couple hundred people watching, and now I'm a small dude raiding him. So at some point,
you need to dig his. Have a look at his video where he goes through it all. He does exactly what you've done. He does all the analytics and shows graphs and everything else.
Yeah.
And he said this month he made over $4,000, but he was like you. He hasn't got the full total until whenever it is in January. December's kicks in.
Are you talking that's what he made in a year, or for the month?
No, monthly. This is what we say.
That's
December's
awesome.
a big month. He said December is the 3 to 4 grand. He said before.
Yeah.
If it's not December, it's 2 to 3.
That's pretty good in terms of supplementing. It's not amazing in terms of I'm living off of it.
Well, you can imagine somebody like Des or something like that. You start to talk tens of thousands.
That's what Quickie's making. He's making the tens of thousands a month. You figure he's sitting there. What I have found is my subs tend to be about half to as much as the number of people that are watching at times. Actually, maybe twice. But if you figure 4,000 people are watching him and he has 4,000 subs, plus he's partnered, he may be big enough that actually Twitch is giving him all the money, because a sub is $4.99.
Right.
A affiliate like me gets half the sub. I think he gets the full sub. So that's $5 a person. 5 times 4,000, rough math. That's 20,000 right there. Never mind tips and
Yeah,
donations and yada yada.
yeah,
So, and then there's YouTube, which he does, and that's going to be some fraction of Twitch, but it adds to it.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
definitely a living wage, isn't it? It's it's put it this way, it's more than my bloody army pension.
yeah. Well, somebody said he guards his.
Job diligently.
But you got, I mean, yeah. How long can that go on? It's World of Tanks. Is it gonna? He's certainly. He's probably making less than he did a couple of years ago when it was bigger.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, exactly, Cliffy. The platforms do contract. I mean, given it that, okay, if you're a sensible businessman, what you do is you invest that money away or save it or whatever. You don't, you use what you can to provide your living wage if you haven't got another job. But you certainly put stuff away because it's not going to last forever. It's
Yeah.
not like, it's not a 9 till 5 for 35 years, is it?
Yeah. So the partnered videos were some of the best. However, my actual best was my 122 TM preview,
Oh,
which
cool.
happened February 8th of last year. That got 1,500 views and some change, and then slightly below it at 1,500 and less change was my Leopard 1 versus STB. So the partnered videos have position 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then another tank review at 6, and then partnered videos at 7, 8, 9, and 10. So those were obviously the best. So pre-reviews and the partnered videos all did the best.
What's your thoughts on why the 122 was top dog then? Why do you think that was? Because
I don't know.
knowing that you can do the catch and try and increase
Well, it's
your
not far
pool.
off of the Progetto review, and it was early last year, and there was a lot of stuff coming out early last year.
Right.
So the 122 may have been actually pushed by Wargaming. I think it was,
Okay.
as I
Okay.
recall. I think NA pushed it somehow. Maybe have put it out on their Facebook page or something like that. I don't remember, but
Right.
I think
Okay.
it was pushed.
Okay.
But my reviews tend to get more because people are more interested in reviews. Just the
Yes.
casual, hey, what's going on? Or
Yeah.
right place, right time, Jimmy. That could absolutely be it.
Yeah.
The
I
average.
think.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was just going to say. I think the fact that the reviews do well is telling for a number of reasons. One is it's a review of a tank, and people always want to know about the tank, but it's the way you put it across that is quite clear and concise, and it actually applies to most people. People will feel in connection with what you're saying because that's how they see it. Do you know what I mean? It connects quite well. A
Yeah,
lot of a lot of reviewers are a bit, I want to say airy fairy. They're a little bit, esoteric more than that. But you just give it as it is. This is the way it is. This is what it does. This is how you can play it, and so on. So I think
yeah,
that's a catch. That's a good catch.
yeah. I mean, that's how I try to do it overall. It's interesting that the average view duration is low on videos. Some of these videos are 45 minutes. You got an average view duration of 416. So
Right.
the few people who watch the whole thing, most people are probably skipping around. And if I put chapters in it, then they're just going to the thing that they want. So I don't know. So that's
Yeah.
YouTube, and I want to say I'm just going to do this in my head because the Patreon is probably 40, $50 a month. So that's going to be another 500 or 600 for Patreon.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
400, maybe 400, maybe more like 400 or 500 than 600. So the
Yeah.
total math in public is roughly 2,400, 2,500 a year. So that's all. The only other one that's not captured is there are some people who are donating through PayPal on the link on Twitch or on the link on
Right. Okay. Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just direct donations that come in. That's maybe another 200. Um, nope, it's at least 240. So it's probably more like 300 or 400 now that I think about it. That one has probably tailed off the most from when I started. I used to get quite a bit of just donations through PayPal, but people have sort of that's slowed down, and it seems more likely that it's going to be either a tip through Twitch or a sub.
I think that's probably the way it goes anyway, because it's like me with the clicking of buttons and pressing of X's and all the rest of it. If it's quicker just to do a sub, than it is to go through the whole process of PayPal.
Yeah.
Or it's quicker, it's quicker just to do that 1 click, 2 click, whatever. I think that's the way it is. That's the way it goes. But IRS is calling.
Yeah.
Taxman knocking on your door, mate.
Yeah. Where'd you get that extra $2,400 this year? You got me.
To be fair, what you set out to do was, and not set out to do, but the way I understand it is that you gave yourself a small target, and that small target was to, perhaps part of your small target was to gain sufficient funds to upgrade your system, your computer, or whatever it was. You gave yourself that little target.
Yeah.
And that's all you're worried about, and that's what you're doing. You're not out to make yourself a millionaire. It'd be nice if you were, because I'd be coming over for a holiday anyway. But you actually achieve that with the help of the community.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's about 2.5, 3 years of saving, and I had the money for that computer. As soon as I get my money back, we'll start doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it is in the back of my mind to try to continue expanding, and it's more so on the idea of the older gamer thing we've been talking about, and trying to figure out ways to bring that in. I've always threatened to move into different games and try to figure out other ways to go about it. So that may be in the works at some point. Yeah, we actually do that, Geo, because 1212 Gaming is a company. It's actually under a different name, but 1212 Gaming is a subsidiary of our company that's trying to do the training devices and stuff like that. All that stuff is home office and tied up in all the taxes for the company and all that. So we actually do leverage that kind of thing. And only because of what I do are we actually making a little bit of money every year.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, unless we can sell one of these things at some point. Cool. So that's just a quick trawl through how the year went, and that's completely up to you guys, man. And
it's nice that you've gone through it all, and because these are all hidden stats to viewers. They don't know what's happening. We just come along for the good times.
Well, I've asked other CCs on occasion, hey, I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure out, what are you making based on your... they don't want to talk about it.
It's crazy, isn't it? Why?
They don't want, because I don't know. I think they feel... I think a lot of them feel that if they start telling people what they're making, people will stop paying.
I guess there is that sort of attitude.
And I'm not saying they're trying to be deceptive. That's not my point at all. It's just it's better unsaid than said, I think.
Yeah.
Is kind of the way they go at it. Would you guys agree? I think that's probably it. I mean, if you ran around a publicly traded company puts out a financial report every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what the CEO makes, and you know what the payroll is, and you know what the profit was, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, and exactly, Jimmy. The various, even as a publicly traded company does that, the various employees don't walk around telling each other what they make.
No, that's true. I mean,
because it can cause issues.
Yeah. Your own salary. I mean, I never tell my co-worker what I earn because I earn more than him.
Right.
I don't want him to know because he'd be straight into the office going, "I do the same job as he do. Why can't I have the same money?" But do you know what I mean?
But part of this channel has always been the journey and talking about how it all works. So I just sort of enjoy. I guess it's kind of easy because I'm not really making a ton of money here. So it's easy to go, hey, I'll share with what's going on. If I was making $10,000 a month, which would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't sit there and tell everyone I'm making $10,000 a month.
No.
So some of the guys, that are partnered, and I'm just going to say some names, and I'm not going to say that they told me yes or no. That's not the point. But the level of person I'm talking about is like Damien and Talk to Me Goose, who have much larger channels, and when they stream, they're a couple hundred, couple 300, whatever, are watching them. You can start getting into the several thousand a month regime for that. Yeah. And now you're at that cusp of, am I making a living doing this, or am I just spending a lot of time supplementing my income? And maybe they're they're working two jobs basically. I think both of them do that. They have their day job and they have this extra job, and a lot of people have two jobs.
Yeah.
You know?
That I mean, the other problem that comes with that is when it becomes your job, it becomes just that little bit more serious and just that little bit more intense and a little bit more needed. And so the enjoyment is less. I feel if I did this as a job, I would not enjoy it, to be honest, because I would be always focused on the
Well,
finance
and yeah,
behind
exactly. You don't, and then the pressure's on you if you
Yeah,
have to do
yeah,
this to make your living.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Kedge, I love both those guys, but they are definitely on working on the entertainment side of the thing. They're both good players. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of they want to entertain their audiences, and that's fine because clearly there's a market for it. People are going there to be entertained by the shenanigans,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's not me. I'm not gonna. I think we can be funny at times, but it's not like this constant,
No,
dog and
no.
pony show going on. And that goes to again back to the older gamer kind of focus.
Yeah.
There's an age point at which you're like, all right, I'm not really interested in all that stuff, but I am interested in the game and chatting and talking about stuff and trying to be real about things.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being an adult with a sense of fun. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line. We can be adult about this game, whereas a lot of other people may not be. Younger people, I'm not knocking younger people. I'm just saying that it becomes very passionate when you're young, something like this. But we can be quite stoic about it and quite adult, but we can have a bit of fun at the same time. Talking about fun, I had a chat with Kinetic yesterday. He was streaming, so I pinged him anyway. I talked about you thinking his age bracket was somewhere between 20 and 30, and I said, Guido paid you a massive compliment. Thinks you're like late 20s and everything. I said, but I had to put him right and tell him that he was actually you're in your 40s, you old bastard. So he absolutely creased himself laughing. He's 41 this year, by the way. Yeah, bless him. He said to tell Guido, thank you very much for calling him 20 years younger than he is.
That's a big deal, Cliffy. When the whole idea of sleeping and doing this, that's a huge deal. There are plenty of stories out there of Twitch streamers and YouTubers getting burned out, mostly streamers because you sit there for an hour. So they'll have a job and then they'll be trying to supplement doing that, and then that will just start expanding, and next thing you know, you're sleeping never. And it can actually mess with you. And there's been a lot of people who have built channels but had to draw back because it wasn't quite enough to live on.
Yeah.
And it was taking up too much time. So it's
like anything you do, Guido. It's like any sort of thing you do which starts off small, but there's a financial thing involved, is that you can reach a point where it becomes viable to do it as a job. And then, like you said, there's a point where that small grey area where it becomes not quite enough to but
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when do you jump off that cliff, Because
Absolutely.
you probably have to jump off that cliff before you know it's going to work.
Absolutely.
Because you need more runway, and the only way to get more runway is to get rid of the other thing that's using up the runway.
That's right.
And that could be the regular job, and plenty of people have attempted that and failed and had to go back.
Well, that's like any business. You've got your business, one to gaming, and it's like any entrepreneur going into business. There comes a point where you either do the jump off the cliff and it becomes successful, or it crashes and burns. There's no middle ground, and once you make that leap, it's got to happen. Otherwise, it's going to disappear, and you're back to square one again. Then.
Yeah, Jimmy, that's a fantastic point.
Putting
all your eggs on one game is not a great idea because games come and go, and tomorrow Wargaming could turn off the lights, right? And it's happened. You've seen games that just stopped supporting them. You wouldn't because it's kind of killing the golden goose, but for them right now. But someday it will be gone, which is once again back to the older gamer thing. Yeah. There's a bazillion games.
Yeah.
You can work on other things. Although I don't know, did Quickie Baby ever try to move out? Has he
Well,
done
no,
ships or
he
stuff?
does Warcraft, World of Warcraft. I'm gonna so
Does
call
he?
it, or
Okay,
whatever
so
it's
he
called.
does have at least some other stuff.
He does a couple of other games.
I mean, I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
Jingles really drew back from World of Tanks, and he's
yeah.
mostly ships, and he does other
Well,
stuff too.
he's ex Navy, so he sort of went
Ah,
that way anyway. So he
yeah,
was Royal Navy for some time.
yeah. There
So
you
I
go.
guess
Damien Scott Diablo. Yep.
right, okay.
And he saw the
Oh
writing on
yeah,
the wall. I mean,
I watched him on Diablo the other night.
yeah,
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
yep. Do you guys see the leaked Twitch papers? Oh, yeah, that's insane, isn't it?
didn't see
Holy,
it.
wasn't Quickie Baby in the top 100? Am I wrong, or was he top 1,000 or something? Um, I don't remember, but I think his name was on that. He was in there. Dez maybe as well. I think a couple of the really big ones.
The volume's gone up, said Wayne. I don't know which volume he means, yours or mine.
Oh, really? Or did I just start yelling? Jimmy. But all right, so that's a
Jimmy.
subject. That's a subject we haven't touched. Stoic, what's happening, man? There seems to be a slight. Cliffy's. Oh, no issues about the volume. Okay, I thought he was talking about the other comment.
Okay.
It's a
We need to wear tank tops.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject, but I would say that it seems like recently there's a bit of an influx of that here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's a couple new ones that I hadn't really seen around very much who seem to be diving into World of Tanks. Let's just call it that. Diving into the hot tub side of World of Tanks.
The trouble is that there's no longevity with that. There is, the brief 5 minutes of watching that sort of stuff, and then you go, it's boring. This, and I'll just go back to Guido and his tank top.
Sometimes the personalities, like they're pretty salty.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes, not always, but that is off-putting.
yeah. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, but even for a male player, anytime I go into, because I like to look around and see what's going on. Generally, if they don't have a camera, I don't watch because I sort of like to see the personality and the kind of what kind of person. And a lot of streams they don't say, nobody's saying anything, and I'm gone from that. I'm not that interested in just the gameplay. So for me, I don't need a big dog and pony entertainment show, but I also don't want just to watch somebody play. I'd like to see some interaction of some kind, and generally it kind of requires a camera for me to be that interested. So I'll go down to the very bottom and start looking around at some of these people, and but if it's like total negative toxicity, I'm gone.
Yeah,
Not
there's
interested.
No point in it, is there? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Stoic, I think there's a lot of reality to that, though. That's kind of the problem, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can say the whole "don't judge a book by the cover," and that's not always true and all that, but there's a market for it. Clearly, you can't. I don't think you can say things like that without acknowledging that it happens.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is a certain truth to that, isn't there?
Right.
So, yeah.
So
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll do, Guido. Seeing as chat is so fixated on hot tubs and speedos,
oh
if
God.
you ever hit 10,000 views on a Twitch stream, I'll get the hot tub in here and I'll wear my speedos. How about that? There you go.
We've gone into a dark place, a dark place.
Oh, there you go. Well, there's the incentive to get 10,000 views on your Twitch stream.
Don't threaten us. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
And
Pay your taxes.
and that was the day Guido's Twitch stream failed.
That was the day Guido went back to flying Air Force jets.
What is it? Dear. Fat, dumb, and stupid's no way to go. Or fat, dumb, and drunk is no way to go through life, son.
No.
Animal House. Yeah, that would be the actual end of the internet. The actual end of the internet. Oh man. But yeah, so that exists, right? You can't. Again, in my opinion, I don't think you can dismiss that. Clearly, there's a market for it, There they are. You know,
Yeah.
there they are.
And like anything, you use what assets you've got. If you're in business to make money, you
Yeah.
use those assets, whatever the assets are, whether it be speedos or double Ds, whatever. You know what I mean?
So Quickie Baby was 268 on the list. Do you remember what the number was, Cliffy? Because that was just a Twitch. I think that was just a Twitch leak. I wanted to say it was tens of thousands a month.
Got to be. It's got to be, hasn't it? If I mean, he's pulling in 5,000-6,000 views each time.
Yeah.
It's got to be, hasn't it? 600K, I think, over the year.
For Quickie? Wow.
That is just insane, isn't it? Just insane.
I mean, I can see how you would, at that point. I mean, he's got it right. He's basically not basically. He's a businessman. He's created a business around his persona. That's his brand. You can scoff it. You can say it's stupid. You can not like it. That's fine. It doesn't change the fact that it exists, and that it doesn't change the fact that he's cranking out 500 grand a year.
And that's pound sterling. That's not dollars by the looks of it. It's pound sterling.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the number is. I think it was in dollars, but not. It doesn't matter. It's a lot for doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he'll sit down and stream for 8 hours, right? 6, 8, 10 hours.
Well, this is the thing. It's your job, so it's an 8-hour day, isn't it? Or it's a 12-hour day, or whatever it is. So it's your job. But if your job is bringing you in $500,000 a year, if you've got any sense at all, 4 or 5 years of it, you're retiring, aren't you? You're going to retire, surely.
Yeah. Well, he does, Stoic, and that's you can't deny that. This is, man, don't get me wrong. This is not a case of me poo-pooing that and saying that he's not putting in the effort, because obviously, he's slick production. He's got multiple people. He probably, obviously, not all that money is going straight to him. He's going to pay money for various things that he needs for people to do production stuff, to help him do videos. He probably has an editor that does stuff. Maybe he does it himself. Maybe he pays somebody.
No, his wife does a lot of the software work behind. She's a bit of an IT guru, so
there you go. So while she's maybe not paid directly, as in here's your salary, they live together, and that's she is contributing to the family business of his streaming, right? So,
Pig's in the house. He's just got out of bed. Look.
Pig, what's up? Comb your hair.
Yeah, brush your teeth and comb your hair. Crying out loud, sir.
See, that just reminded me of. Does anybody have TikTok? You guys have TikTok?
No.
Have you seen has anyone on chat seen the guy, Cug? I think he's from New York. He's an Italian descent guy, and he does food reviews, and then he does some cooking and stuff. And after every video, his end is "Take care, brush your hair." It's all Cliffy. I was with you. I actually love TikTok. I will sit down and I will scroll through TikTok for 30 minutes just for chilling.
Really?
And there's some really clever, funny people on TikTok. I really enjoy some of the jokes and the stuff they do. There's some trash. There's trash everywhere. But I don't TikTok. I don't make videos, but I do enjoy kind of scrolling through sometimes and just watching stuff.
I might have a look at that. I've never really looked at it. You can get it on your browser.
No, maybe can you Google? Let's see.
Yeah, Randall says TikTok just needs to go away.
There's probably here we go. Here, this is a website version of it.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's Cug, and I think you can probably click on those and watch them. Or maybe it's just the sound. I don't know, but dude, he cracks me up. And he does some cooking stuff too. Actually, pretty good cook. So he'll show you how to make it. Whatever it is he's making. He makes pastas and all kinds of stuff. Anti-pastas. And then he goes all around New York, which obviously is a culinary mecca. And he gets food from all kinds of places, cheesesteaks and blah, blah, blah.
I'm just looking at it now. And the first 4, 5. The first 5 that I'm looking at involves scantily clad females. I think I'll switch that off now
On
before the house
TikTok,
channel walks in. Yeah.
there
But I.
is there is a version of TikTok where the girls are dancing and stuff, but when you
Mhm.
start liking stuff, I rarely see that stuff anymore.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll try and find the Sheppy bloke and
Reference
pick it up.
the discussion earlier about streamers and what sells.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What sells exactly?
that's everywhere though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
okay.
still watch reruns of Gunsmoke. I have a friend Geo who watches what's that? There's a channel that's all the old stuff. Um,
Yeah, we got that over here. You get free
me
sat
me
channel.
TV me TV.
Okay, that
I
sounds
think
cool.
is one of them. I'm sure there's more than one, but he does that. He watches all that old stuff. Leave It to Beaver and the Andy Griffith Show, Gunsmoke. Yeah, me TV. Wayne says. Yeah.
The corral.
Oh yeah, all that stuff, man. He absolutely.
Well, you
That's his
still,
thing.
I mean, you remember Bonanza, surely?
Yeah.
Remember Yeah,
Yeah.
with the guy with the like the
Yeah.
huge, I don't know, 10-gallon hat or whatever. Awesome. Yeah,
Well,
I'm watching all
every
that.
once in a while, the house general says she's like, "Well, why are you sitting there just scrolling through TikTok?" I'm like, "Well, why are you sitting there watching TV for an hour? What's the
Yeah,
difference?" I'm
yeah,
not making a judgment on which is better or worse.
yeah.
You know,
Right.
and you can have your preference. Like, I suppose you can make a judgment, but what I'm saying is, in terms of time spent, well, there's no real difference here. You may not like that version of the using the time, but it's really doing basically the same thing.
Same thing. It's looking
Yeah.
through some form of visual entertainment, isn't it?
Right.
Visual audio
Right.
entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. So whether it be South Fork and you know,
And
uh,
what's really wrong with that at the end of the day? You know what I
as
mean?
long as it's you know, as long as it's an entertainment, it's not something
Right.
that
It's
you're
not
gonna.
just everything you do, right? But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I go out. We go out to
Yeah.
dinner, go hunting, go hiking. Yeah, man. You gotta freaking have balance. You know what I mean? You can't. I guess you can do
Sorry,
all
I
of one
just read
thing.
what Jimmy said. I mean, put it into context, Jimmy. Ah,
We
oh
always end
dear,
up in
oh
the
dear.
dark place, don't we?
We do, don't we?
My desk.
Anyway, back to speedos and hot tubs. RNG says no. It ain't happening.
Deleted all my social media. Only have Twitch. So I actually deleted my entire Facebook, my personal Facebook page. I
Right.
went through the whole thing, told them, did all the notification, told them, blah, they sent me all the files. So in
Right.
theory, my Facebook page is gone from Facebook.
I've never had it, so I don't.
And I haven't missed that one bit.
I bet you haven't.
The
No.
toxic Facebook thing. Also, for a while I was doing Reddit. I don't do Reddit anymore. Even more toxic than Facebook. So I don't, and it's a related subject. I do have a 1212 Guido 1212 Facebook page that I haven't done much with.
What's that? The company.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a company page which is something different, and then there's the Guido
Oh, right.
1212 World of Tanks page. Wargaming, when I did the partnering thing, wanted me to add all that stuff in, and they're really big on all that. And I kind of started, and I haven't done much with it. And I'm kind of coming to the realization that that
Yeah.
just isn't what I do,
Yeah.
man. It's I don't want to. One of the reasons I got rid of Facebook is I was spending too much time on it, which is
Right.
ironic
Okay.
because I just admitted
Yeah.
to liking TikTok and sitting around and checking out TikTok stuff. But I'm not a huge fan of what Facebook's doing in terms
Right.
of the
Good point.
oligarchs, of the tech
Yeah.
oligarchs. Without getting into details, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. No. Good point.
It's pretty bad, and I don't waste time on it anymore. No, there's no tanks here, Cliffy. We don't.
No, we don't do tanks, Cliffy. What's that all about?
What?
What do you want to do tanks for?
This wasn't a very tanks heavy day, was it? You know what? Know where we are on tanks is we've all gorged on the holiday ops.
Yes, that's it. We're
And we're
over.
so full
Yeah,
right now. We're just sitting on the
yeah.
couch
It's like
scrolling
it's
through
like having
TikTok.
two Christmas dinners, isn't it? Two Christmas dinners at once.
We're posting on Facebook,
Yeah.
sending pictures of our new
I've never
tanks.
done. Yeah, I mean, I've never done Facebook. I've never done anything like that. And the reason being is exactly that. I don't agree with the big guys having all of my personal details. I mean, they probably have anyway through different means, but whatever. But
Yeah,
I don't agree with
yeah,
putting your life out. I mean, I have a conversation with my son about this. He says I've got like 385 friends. I'm like, no, you haven't. You haven't got. They're not all your friends. You don't know them. You've probably
yeah.
got three friends and 300 people who you've connected with on Facebook. And then the other thing I've got is that's my phone. So I don't get any social media whatsoever. I don't care. This is my phone. It does text and phone calls. There you go. Don't do that nonsense.
I do use my phone. I mean, I keep track. There, I still have some social media in family circles. One of the things that we use for the family in England is WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yeah,
Yeah, and then you can send messages and pictures and all that kind of stuff, but it's not public. It's all in a private
yeah.
thing. But yeah, I think we're on tanks wise. It's just like, all right, holiday ops. We're just all sort of
Tank down,
satiated with that, and we're waiting for that. You know, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a marathon? Is it going to be black market? Is it going to be this return of battle pass? Probably all
Yeah,
three at some point. You know, that
yeah.
January February time, there traditionally has been a marathon pretty early in the year.
Well,
Once,
it'll be also, I guess, Guido, is that they know that everybody's got stacks of gold sat around now and everything, so there's going to be a big drive to get that spent. To get you involved into using gold or whatever it is, because they all know we're now sitting with, if you've bought 75 boxes, you're sitting with a wad of gold, aren't you? Even if you
yeah.
bought 25 or whatever, 50 boxes, you're still going to have some gold there and a lot of premium time. So that income stream will drop in January for wargaming. So they're going to try and encourage you to spend more money on different things.
So
So
let's
yeah, marathons and all that.
Yeah, so let's actually look at it because that brings me to a point I wanted to talk about before we head out of here. Let's just talk real quick. We'll get back to tanks here because I forgot about this until we got talking about it. But here is the yearbook, which is a good way to look at it, guys. If you want to kind of see what happened last year, remember the Caro Combato 45T was a global map resistance reward. Then we had the Holiday Ops brought us the Basante, and then we had the line come out on the 26th of January. So if we're close to that, then late January we should start seeing the Yo tanks. All right, so
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah,
Maybe early February, depending on the timing. The 122, which we talked about the review earlier, came out on the 12th of February. So I keep talking about potentially January, but it looks like probably mid-February then for some kind of marathon, maybe that
yeah.
AMB2
That would
tank
make
or
sense,
something
wouldn't
like
it?
that.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll just depend on what tank they pick, but that was about the timing right there. The Q-Lin, this was Black Market. That was March. So, and then Battle Pass started, it looks like, in March 11th.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a bit later than we thought, but yeah.
So finishing up January, kind of the pause, probably a marathon in February, and then early or to mid-early March, we're going to start Battle Pass. If the timing is the same, that's what we have. That's what we have
I,
to look
I don't
forward to.
think I don't think there's a tank. There was a question about clan wars. I don't think there's a tank in the pipeline for clan wars just yet. I haven't seen anything on that.
Well, yeah, the big question there is the chieftain gonna
Cool.
make another appearance for Clan Wars? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here's a question for you guys: has anybody seen this thing in a battle yet? This 114 SP2?
No,
Are they
no.
not? Have
That's
they
a
not
good
been given
question.
out?
Do you know what? I don't think I've seen. No, I haven't seen a single one of those. Fact.
No, which bitwise they haven't been given out, and if so, why not?
Isn't that
That
interesting?
was a while ago. That ranked battles ended a while ago. I'm assuming they've already been credited. Charlemagne is
Yeah, the
out.
Charlemagne is out. Yeah.
So they haven't credited the 114 SP2 yet?
That's crazy, surely.
Or is it a case of you haven't seen one? Because I haven't seen one. I would expect people to be playing it. I don't think I've seen one in battle.
No.
Like
And we
what?
play both sides of the Atlantic, so you would think, you would see it.
I've seen the Charlemagne. I know they're running around.
Yeah, I've seen the show. I think Klaus did a review on it, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, I've got a review on it too. This
Yeah,
was
you
we
have.
were given a rental. No, Jimmy, it was a CC has it for the weekend. Then they nerfed it. Yeah, but it was the reward for ranked,
For ranked battles, yeah.
and rank's over. And I haven't the rewards gone out, or what am I missing here? It seems like you would see. Seems like you would see a forum post people raging about it not
Yeah,
being.
even if they hadn't given it out for a reason, or there are 3 seasons of ranked. Okay, all right. So we were saying it's at the end of the third season. That's when they will give it out.
Oh, I
Now
thought
that
it.
makes sense.
Oh, okay. I thought it finished. Well,
No, I did. I thought it finished.
there you go.
There you go, Tony. Tony got the answer. Good one.
So people had enough, I guess, bonds and unlocked the ability to buy the Charlemagne. But that's right. The
Yeah,
top reward you
yeah,
can't get until it's okay. Well, there you go. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. That
makes sense. Yeah,
I lost track of that. That's weird because the seasons bridge years. I forgot about that with ranked.
yeah.
A
You,
season
you,
is
you tend to think that it's January to December, don't
yeah.
you?
It's not.
So,
It's not contained within 1 year. It's weird thing they've got going on. Yeah, they did nerf it a little bit there, Ishva. All right, cool. I think we're about done, man. You got any parting shots? Anybody got any last minute questions? I think so. Artillery bugs. As far as the timing from last time, it was March. So if they go off of last time's timing, you can expect it early March.
yeah, and it'll be. I would imagine it'll be the same old, same old.
Yeah, man. We'll see what goes on. As always on Sunday, if I have some time, I'll stream a little bit later. But for right now, we're going to take a break. I'm going to get this video up so I can make my millions on YouTube.
Yeah, and give me my 5 cents.
Yeah, send Pilgrim his pittance.
Yes, my pittance.
Yeah, Happy New
NBA
Year's.
Yes, happy New
Yeah, Happy
Year's.
New Year's. Thanks for hanging out with the coffee guys. Appreciate you guys' support as always. Keep sending me all the money, make me rich. Oh wait, am I supposed to say that, or is that the internal voice, right?
That's the one. But you
It
externalized
came
it.
out
Well
though,
done.
didn't it? Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well done. Well done.
Sucks.
I don't know if did Wildebeest slippers turn up. We don't know.
Wildebeest, he's not here, is he?
No, Cliffy's just asked.
Let's find out, guys, before we go. I have to go through the whole rigmarole though of finding my password again. I think I'd remember it.
Pilgrims competitions will be back in the new year. Well, it is the new year, but next week. Pilgrims competition will be back next week for your 500 gold. And the answers will not be Henry VIII, Plymouth Rock, or slippers.
Henry VIII, I am Henry VIII.
Indeed.
I'll look at it later because I have to bring everything down if I go to this other screen. It's a big pain in the butt, but I will check on Wildebeest's slippers. I'm infested now. All right, hold on. Let's see.
Well, I'll sing a song to keep them entertained.
Sing
while
a
you're doing
song. You're the piano man.
that. I'll go get my guitar. Shall I
Yeah,
go?
yes, do it.
No. I
This
could
is,
sing a Guido song, couldn't I?
this is gonna screw it up. If I do this, what happens? Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Let's see here.
In fact, I'll go get my slippers I got for Christmas. Hang on.
He's using his slippers right now. That's exactly right. He's not here because he's enjoying his slippers so much. Did Pilgrim freeze? Pilgrim froze himself.
Am I unfrozen now?
You are now, yeah.
I've just got my slippers I got for Christmas. So we all know about. See, it's the slipper channel. So we all know about the Hotters, very expensive slippers. Look, okay. So somebody told me last week that these aren't moccasins. This is Harris Swede moccasins. Look, there you go. That's the other pair I got.
Hold on,
So
hold on.
this is-
I think you're frozen. Let me bring this back up because you're gonna have a laugh about this. But hold on. This is purely my fault because my system can't handle all these windows that are open. Let's get you back here. This is so difficult. This is what we call professionalism, folks. There we go. All right. Start over. Show us your. We're back up.
So Christmas presents this year. So these are the old hotters that Guido says are very expensive, but I don't know because they were a gift.
Those are beautiful slippers. Those are some of the
You like them?
nicest slippers I've seen, my friend.
You like them? This is the #1 slipper channel, Wayne.
And if people sent me enough money, I could afford those. Oh, wait, what?
So then, then I got told on stream the other week that Harris Tweed don't make proper moccasins. They actually come from the Sasquatch Indians. But I beg to differ. These are Harris Tweed moccasins. Look.
Oh, those are I mean, you're gliding through the house with those.
I'm blind. Look at them. Look, then,
that's like a magic slipper carpet of just comfort.
And then to cap it all, she's left the price on the bottom, so I'll take it off.
Okay.
She buys me these, which are proper old man's slippers, aren't they? Keep the
that's exactly when the rheumatism acts up.
Yeah, the rheumatism gets in. You got this bit here, look, all fur line, look. Right, so
he does have 3 feet. He puts a separate kind on each foot.
I am, after all, a hobbit, aren't I?
You sir, are a connoisseur of fine slippers. All right, guys, here is what I just got off of Amazon. This is fantastic. I have never actually had this happen. This is bizarre. I think they've probably been stolen or something, but it says, your package may be lost. We're very sorry your delivery is so late. Although it may still arrive, you can request a refund now.
Oh, no!
Are you actually kidding me?
That's not good, is it?
Holy crap. I want to know the story of the slippers.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Who else wants to know the story of the lost slippers? I think that might be a book or a movie.
I think that's a feature for this channel now.
Let's go back to updates and see. All right, here we go. Nope, it's still just on December 31st. The package arrived back to Fresno. So got picked up, went to Osseo, Minnesota, went to, what was it, Olathe? Is that correct, guys? Olathe, I believe. Kansas. Left Olathe, went to Sacramento, went from Sacramento to Fresno, and has gone silent.
Wow. Somebody's seen them and went, I need a new pair of slippers. I think I'll have those.
They started running silent at Fresno, the slippers. Dare I say, they slipped away.
Oh, that was a good dad joke.
That's where they slipped into the ether. I mean, it was a fine pair. A fine pair.
Fine pair.
All right, well, I still have Will the Beast's address. So now I'm waiting for 2 refunds.
Yeah, it's not been your year yet, has it? You know what I mean? The thing is, when I send stuff to you, it goes obviously from here, the UK, it goes to Heathrow, then it goes to NYC, and then it goes through a whole series. It's almost like an S shape going down the United States. It goes everywhere. Everybody wants a piece of the Guido merch as it comes through. And then eventually it ends up in a city just north of you. And then that's where it sits for 2 days. That's where it sits for 2 days.
I just love the message, though.
It's cool, though, isn't it?
We're very sorry your delivery is so late. Although it may still arrive. Oh, sorry. It starts with the boldest, your package may be lost.
Oh, dear.
Do you think?
Taking that long.
We're very sorry your delivery is so late, although it may still arrive. You can request a refund now. So, what happens if it arrives?
Yeah. Well, you
Basically,
get your money back and it
if it
arrives.
does show up, it's basically free at this point. So I got to contact the seller and get a refund. That is freaking amazing. Yeah, the guy who updated is like, oh, these slippers are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him, man. He's at his desk and he's wearing them. And he's like, your
Yeah.
package may be lost.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh man, don't pay a restocking fee. I get it, restocking
Yes.
fee.
That's terrible, Jimmy.
All right, well I'll have to un-F that. Okay, that's all I've got, man. Anything else from you there?
I'm done, mate. I'm slipping out.
All right, we're gonna slip on out of here. This is Guido signing off from the left side of the Atlantic.
Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic.
See you guys.